Let's take a trip back in time, shall we? It's the Loops, MX2, Moto 1. Ryan Surratt with the whole shot, but it was all about Little Lemmy gets the lead, and he takes off, wins the first moto. Second moto, look who's out in front, the 787 of Josh Osby, but Little Muff was on the inside again, totally dominated the class. Moffenbar takes the clean sweep and the overall as we head into round 2 in Prince George. Welcome, race fans, to round 2 of the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals from the beautiful Blackwater MX Park, just outside of Prince George, British Columbia. Today's action will be brought to you by Motovan.com. Fab's MX2 pilots in staging right now, getting ready to take their gate picks. As we said, a brand new facility for the National Series here. It's going to be a beauty. Let's get caught up with our top 10 in MX2.
Thanks, Travis. Moffenbar with a 10-point lead coming into round 2 over Thompson and Osby, who are tied. How about Pettis? 2 points back. Then we go to Jacob Hayes, newcomer Ryan Surratt, then Taylor Arsenal, LaFontaine, Stapleton, and Wright round it out.
Okay, Fabs, with the MX2 pilots going out and making their gate picks based on qualifying positions, let's talk about this Blackwater MX track. An absolute beauty in terms of spectating, and as well as the dirt and a ton of sand brought in here. I love the elevation. This is a great motocross track.
You sure got that right, Travs. Carved right into the side of the mountain. Spectators get to see about 95% of the track from one vantage point. And boy, is this ever some steep elevation. Camera doesn't really do it justice. Big booters up, big descents, and some very dangerous high-speed braking points coming down these hills. We saw a lot of carnage in early morning qualifying.
Some hard-packed clay up top, some sand brought in, and then some loamy corners. The rider's gonna have a real hard time dealing with the substrate here, there's no question about it. But I know one thing for sure, it's time for an ice-cold Rockstar. MX2 gate drop, first moto, coming up. Welcome back to the Blackwater MX track just outside of Prince George, British Columbia. This is the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth with 2 Rockstar lovelies coming out to Sir Paul Kingsley with the 30 board. And that only means one thing, it is time for us to go racing. This first MX2 moto will be brought to you by Yamaha Motor Canada. Yamaha revs your heart, Fabs.
They sure do. And how about this concrete starting pad and a lot of cement on the far side of the gate. See that? Usually the cement ends behind the gate. Here there's another yard and a half or so of cement. So a lot of wheel spin coming up this big hill, 5-second board. All those black numbers on yellow background signify Pro-Am riders able to ride here with the pros. Gate is down fast, big uphill start, drag race. Who's gonna get that Royal Distributing? Oh, shot!
Looks like a Kawasaki, Fabs, and I think it is, yes, the 100 of Jacob Hayes on that Monster Energy Alpinstars Kawasaki. So a dynamite start for him. Looks like the number 1 of Cole Thompson in second place, and the 787 of Osby Redemption Racing KTM inside. Does he have the lead? No, Hayes with great drive out of the corner.
What line choice for Osby, passes Thompson, almost challenges for the lead. What a line. Thompson opting to follow Hayes. Here we are in the back section, jumping out riders, swapping this way and that. Osby's being challenged by Thompson. Big tabletop, this huge descender here. What a track with braking and acceleration. Big bumps coming in to that right-hander, and Thompson takes it back.
Saw the 2-stroke Husqvarna, that's the 21 of Davey Frazier and that Carson Racing FXR team in 4th place, so he got a great start up the hill with that 2-banger. But Cole Thompson, boy, did he get aggressive on that huge downhill right-hander.
And making a pass on downhill, that takes a lot of stones. Let's go to a replay of the whole shot. Here comes Jacob Hayes on the Alpine Stars Monster Kawasaki, a full bike length ahead of everyone. Here comes Osby Thompson. Just love this replay of the whole shot line.
Fabs, while in replay, Jacob Hayes had a problem going up the start straight hill. Now Thompson's in the lead, Osby's in second place. Hayes is relegated to 3rd. Look how tight these corners are, bringing them into that finish line.
And then it's the number 12 of Sean Moffenbar easing his way forward on that MX101 Yamaha. Watch out for him. He swept both motos at round 1. Check out Osby, this kid's fast, new addition to the series, and boy, the Redemption team sure has their eye out for talent, bringing him up from the States.
The number 12 is Sean Moffenbar running that red plate today. Didn't get a great start in this moto, but he's made a couple passes. Now he's up into 4th, and he looks like the danger man in that 3-pack working up on the lead.
Yeah, he was challenging the 100 of Hayes big time. This downhill super sketchy as it gets rougher. We saw guys going over the handling bars in practice and qualifying. Lots of grooves forming in the corner, so lots of different lines. I'm liking the 12 staying out of the roost zone, and then his teammate Jeff Pettis, hometown boy, right here from Prince George, the number 16.
Look how dark and scary it is back in the pines there, Fabs, as they blast out into this Inchurbies downhill. This track has got all of it, Brian. It's got wide lines. And did you see Hayes go inside with that Thompson line? He's got Osby for second. No, great job for Osby as they head up into the Honda top crown line.
Hayes has got to be pretty handy with the brakes there not to get right into the back of Osby. Following now, opening the door for Moff. Look at Moff, shoves him right out the door. And now Moff has to get onto that inside to protect it. And now it's Osby that is going to be the victim of the aggressive number 12. And look at that, 2 passes right away. This kid means business. Moffenmeyer is sniffing and probing all the way to the front of the pack.
Oh, and he is taking advantage of these tight corners that are down in the spectator area. Oh, and Pettis gives Hayes a whole bunch of contact. And Pettis is the local boy. This is his home track. He's from Prince George. That pass puts him up to 4th place.
Yeah, Pettis has a lot of time here practicing during the week. An excellent club here in Prince George with this fantastic facility. There is Little Muff hooking that inside line beautifully, just parks himself. Hayes has got nothing to say about that. And then just a turn or two later, comes right around the outside and just rails around Osby. Moffenmeyer and that Yamaha are synergistically working as one this year. This guy is the man to beat, no doubt. Last year, Thompson had it all his way, but not so far in 2017.
The battle for 3rd place is over the finish line. The 787 of Josh Osby, Redemption Racing KTM, using great defensive lines. But look at the cutback. Oh, and a nice little square up for the 16 of Jess Pettis. A lot of style in this kid. He's brash. He's young. Is he going to go outside? Yes, and that hill is almost off camera, Brian. That is a very, very aggressive pass.
Man, I love that part of the track with that little hipper leading up to that uphill. That is the start shoot going up. So an outside pass. Man, oh man, impressive for Pettis. Now, the battle for the lead, Travis, is heating up through the FXR sand section. Moffenmeyer's cut up a ton of ground. Look how rough and tumble it is. You see those riders rocking back and forth. It takes a lot of strength and balance. Wow. And then you got to get on the binders here, get your mark. Thompson uses that inside line. Now this marine corner offers a lot of passing opportunity, Travis.
And many lines coming into one pass as they come out of that corner. Very interesting. You saw Moffenmeyer looking for all kinds of options, but that section of the track is almost arena crossing.
Yeah, it is. It's very tight. Great point. Close to the spectators. And here's that spot I love. Outside, inside. The outside rider has to turn a little sharper up the hill, but he doesn't take the punishment of that extra jump. Takes a lot of energy every time. Thompson has to look over. He sees that number 12 red plate. And now this, and look at that, just both riders sliding and slamming. Oh, look at the aggression on Moffenmeyer coming down, catching air where no other rider does. Moff is just on a charge right now. It's one thing to catch, though, and another thing to pass, team.
Especially when you're talking about Thompson. Let's get back in the pack just a touch. The 338 Net-Up Kawasaki, Orion Surratt, and the 47 KTM, a LaFontaine going through in that tight section, and a beautiful rhythm section to the finish line. Look how gorgeous it is here, Brian.
Oh, man, the 47 of Tyler LaFontaine taking it a lick back. Now here comes the number 12, Little Muff on the gunner. Cole Tommy Gun Thompson battling for the premier position right now. The spectators are in for a huge treat. It gets so choppy here, real Euro-style section. Moff likes that inside hipper, a big booter up the Royal Distributing chute. This is where Pettis made the pass on the outside. Look at that, exactly like his teammate on Hayes. Moffenmeyer, our new leader, Travis. This is unbelievable, but Thompson is not the rider to lay down. He's staying hungry.
Handful of throttle on the outside, off camera. That is an experienced pass. Pettis first. Now Moffenmeyer. Here comes Thompson back in. You know what, Brian? You can use insides and outsides to make passes on this track. Boy, but that inside line is tight.
As they disappear into the woods, here it is, up the big start chute. It's actually a bit of a banker here. And oh, look at that, a lot of body English for Moffenmeyer to keep it upright and charging forward. These two guys are starting to gap 3rd place. such an unbelievable pace they're setting, Travis. They're just ripping this track apart.
Well, and there's no question that Moffenbayer's getting into Thompson's head because he's catching and passing him. And that's exactly what Thompson did last year when he decimated the field. But right now, Moffenbayer dumps the KTM corner, throws it away with that front wheel. Oh my goodness, Moffenbayer, concentrate.
Jeez, we've seen this before from Sean leading and laying it down, so a bit of a brain fade there. His teammate Pettis goes through in a second, but a good recovery from off. Now he is still in third place ahead of Osby.
The inside line on that KTM corner, Brian, seems like the one you want for sure. Inside tight, but he just misses his mark.
Yeah, exactly. Comes right up and loses the front end, sampling hard. Wow. Thompson very, very awake on the brakes, and then just a little bit of roost there out. Thompson's just smiling under his helmet right now, and you can bet Moff's doing the exact opposite.
Well, Thompson came back and pushed hard after Moffenbayer passed him, and I think he pressured Moffenbayer a little bit. Did he pressure him into that crash? I don't know, but he almost had him coming down into that downhill. A little bit of contact, and sometimes that gets to you.
Man, oh man, Moff has done this before, like we said, and he's got that confidence coming out of round one. He's gonna be scratching his head big time after that, but it's Cole Thompson with big air, taking the first moto win in style. KTM 4 rider does it.
All right, Babs, let's get to our top 10 in that first MX2 moto. You know your top 5. Let's go down to Surratt in 6th, Taylor Arsenault with another strong race, Casey Keast in 8th, LaFontaine and Hayden Halstead in 10th.
First moto winner and our defending champion, number 1, Cole Tommy Gun Thompson, delivering the goods here at Blackwater MX Park. What an exciting moto. You were in the thick of it, boy. Moffenbayer ahead of you, then you were just following some lines, regrouped. Looked like you were mounting a pass there before he fell.
Yeah, just a good start finally, and Sean was riding a little bit faster than me, so he caught me, passed me, and then I started picking up on a few lines, and then able to close it back up, and he made a small bobble and went down, and from there I just made sure I stayed on 2 wheels to finish a strong race. Jess was catching me at the end, and yeah, it's not easy this year. I'm definitely working a lot harder, and I'm not winning by as much, so it's a tough class this year, and I'm in for a long summer.
Coming in second fast out of qualifying, number 12, MX101 Yamaha, Sean Moffenbayer. What a moto you had on a fast bike. You had the lead for a while there, and man, some pressure from Cole Thompson. You laid it down, regrouped for third though, Sean. Solid moto.
Yeah, I mean, I got off to a tough start. I spun on the concrete, you know, I just got a little anxious, so, you know, I got to fix that for next moto, but worked my way through the pack, got up into the lead there, and yeah, there was a yellow flag, and I was looking to see where the guy was down and just made a small mistake and watched the front end.
Still a good recovery for Moff. There's our whole shot artist, Jacob Hayes, finishing 4th. He's getting his stride with 2 lovelies and Travs.
This is the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Costner in the booth as we get set for MX2 Moto 2 at the Blackwater MX track in Prince George, British Columbia. Brian, this place is set up really nice. That first MX2 Moto was a beauty. Couldn't ask for a better facility for spectating. The club's did an amazing job in all the setup. This second MX2 Moto will be brought to you by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories.
Yeah, Travs, and the community really behind this event. A lot of buzz coming in for the Prince Georgians, a lovely little town nestled right in the heart of British Columbia. Just gorgeous to be this far north. Never been this far north in the province before, so just a treat to be here. And man, do we have some action on track. Concrete starting pad, wheel spin, on board with Davey Fraser getting tucked big time on his 250cc. The number 1 at Thompson in and around that front frame. But that is exactly what it's like to race this gnarly sport of MX.
The drift action cam really giving you the IQ, but right now it's the 338 nut up Kawasaki of Ryan Surratt with that Royal Distributing whole shot up on top of that huge tabletop down into the valley, and then they launch back up into the Scottwood section.
Every rider has got a smile on their face after these motos. This track is so interesting, so fun. It is gnarly, but it offers so much thrills. The riders all just giving it full marks, an A+.
No surprise, who's in second place? The local boy, the number 16 at Jess Pettis. On the inside, Brian. That is an awesome line, but you gotta have stones to pull that one off.
Big time. He went way on the inside of all the bumps. We saw Surratt hit that big kicker, huge braking bump, punted him way off course. Still in second. Look at Surratt's bike dancing this way and that. Choppy coming down these descents. The bike's get on the brakes and form those big bumps, and then you get acceleration bumps. Prince George native out front. Look at him rail that corner. MX101 FXR rider serving it up, and he's also a Rockstar sponsored rider. That whole team, so a little bit of love for our sponsors. Look at the speed down this FXR chute. Thompson is battling with the A-Cup Hayes. No love lost, Travis, between those two athletes.
And that flat corner prior to the FXR sweeper, Hayes went inside past Thompson. This part of the track is so tight, it's almost BMX-y in a way, the way they pop in and out manual around these corners.
I like what you said, arena crossing for sure. Surratt gets wheel spin, here comes Hayes. Factory Kawasaki rider versus the Run-Up Industries satellite team, neck and neck. Hayes has got it. This part of the track suits Hayes. He's tall, he can soak up those bumps, and look at the body and glaze.
Full manual over that hipper. And did you see the crowd go crazy from the number 16 to Jess Pettis as he crossed the finish line in the lead? You know that most of the people are here to see him. Look at this, Surratt on the inside. Oh my goodness. Coming off the tabletop into that downhill, he got inside. He was full of it. Okay, let's get back to that Royal Distributing Hole.
Newcomer Surratt has just been a shining star. He's a little guy, but boy, can he rip a dirt bike. Doesn't talk a lot. He lets his right throttle hand do all the talking for him, and super slow. We saw Ryan Surratt, that's his second hole shot in as many races.
Okay, the number 12 of Sean Moffenmeyer had the lead in the first moto, then put it down, finished third, but he is on the pipe right now, working that wide line. It's getting real choppy on those downhills. Here's that flat track corner, difference from some of those off cameras and some of those high bankers. Moffenmeyer is brashy and bold, and he's got the bike underneath him to suit it.
That's the corner. He crashed in Moto 1, and he is not making that mistake twice, guaranteed. Thompson now out front, passing Surratt on the brakes around that blue crew corner, and this is that arena crossing section. The riders have to be ultra precise. Surratt following now, trying to maybe pick up some lines. Oh, I like Surratt's options there, and look how the lines crisscross. Moffenmeyer kind of making his own exit line. Do a replay of that pass. Look at Moff on the outside, Travis, just rails this berm.
Took a big hit too on his way to that outside.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not much of a bank there, almost a bit of a flat tracker, but outside to inside, it always works, especially in these tight areas.
Can't even underscore the amount of upper body and arm strength it takes to race at this level. And there's Moff again around the outside. He's bossy. Holy smokes, a very determined Sean Moffenmeyer. We know he trains super hard. To be fair to Surratt, though, he had some surgery coming in to this series, so hasn't had that much time on the bike. So maybe his fitness and strength is a little off from where he would like it.
This track has options, Brian. I love it. That big downhill at Turby's corner. Pettis used the inside line to get into the lead. Moffenmeyer used the outside to get into third place. So, rider eye.
Yeah, Travis, for sure. Here comes Moff. Look at Moff hitting every bump on the track. He doesn't care. He has got the strength and fitness, and now he is challenging Thompson for a second, Travis, in that same rut. Great training right now, taking that alternate line. Oh, man, he could have T-boned Thompson hard there, but he'll save that maybe for the last lap.
Oh, what a gentleman the number 12 Sean Moffenmeyer is. Oh, he could have taken him right to the cleaners. Here's that outside line we were talking about. And look at the line that Surratt's on. Super rough. Moffenmeyer carrying speed. Wow, right on the edge of the track.
Surratt very gentle right there. He could have taken Moff right to the edge and put him in the weeds, but a little bit of respect there. Moff carrying a lot more momentum, pulls off the pass.
You saw our leader, the number 16 of Jess Pettis, just ahead of the number 1 of Cole Thompson. Right now, riding smooth as silk, a second place. But this is the battle for fourth place. Hayes on the outside. Surratt leaving the door wide open for that ultra-fast Monster Energy Alpenstars Kawasaki.
You could see the right leg and foot of Hayes just working that back brake, getting the traction, settling the bike, and just makes a beautiful pass up that right-hand bank turn. That is the Royal Distributing hole shot, first turn.
The young stallion, the number 16, Jess Pettis on that MX101 Yamaha, is in the lead and looking good. Hayes on the outside. Moffenmeyer's falling back, Brian. There is smoke coming out of his bike. He has an issue.
There sure is. Puffs of blue smoke popping out of his bike intermittently. Let's see if his Yamaha can hold together. Surratt can smell blood right now, right on the back wheel of the red plate holder, signifying that Moff has the points lead. Coming in, lappers get out of the way. Oh, there it is. It's trouble. Moff is down. Moff, his bike is stopped, and he's pushing off track. This is not good at all, Travs. He's done.
Wow, think about this for Moffenbauer too. A DNF in this moto is a huge setback in his championship race because let's face it, he was the top dog. Okay, coming around on the inside, super rough right there, totally stymied.
Yeah, you could just see him get on the gas and his whole body lunge forward. The bike did not comply at all. Easy pass for Surratt. Poor Sean Moffenbauer, he knows his goose is cooked right now, and every moto so important points-wise. It is a 10-race, 20-moto series, but if you have a DNF like that and your number one competitor doesn't, you are a good chunk of points behind the 8 ball.
To our lead package, the number 16 of Jess Pettis has been leading most of the moto, but Cole Thompson slowly but surely making his way up to the lead. Here's that flat corner again. Thompson on the inside. Pettis with it. Oh, Thompson with the cutback. Now inside of the FXR sweeper has the lead. What a pass.
Pettis leaves the door wide open, but now he is retaliating on his home track. Crowd is cheering for Jess so hard, making noise every time he comes around. Pettis, you know, maybe a bit of nerve straps coming in here with all that added pressure, all the press he's done, morning shows, radio shows, the television broadcasts. Pettis has been a busy boy all week.
Well, in these tight corners, if you leave the door open just a bit, you see him sweeping wide through here. Thompson on the inside gets on the gas. Writing's on the wall.
In slow-mo, you can really see how rough it is, and Pettis hitting all those bumps around the outside like a bucking bronco. Thompson with his eyes peeled, those little nuances on the inside, just kind of going between the bumps. It makes all the difference for saving energy towards the end of the moto. These are long, grueling motos.
To our leader, the number one, Cole Thompson, up and over the finish line and gets the checkered flag. And that is the clean sweep here today, Brian, for our defending champion in MX2. Welcome back to Prince George, British Columbia, and the Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. There's your Royal Distributing hole shotter, Ryan Surratt. Fab, let's get to the Yamaha leaderboard, top 10.
Thanks, Traz. We know our top 2. How about Jacob Hayes taking care of Surratt? Dylan Wright, his best finish yet. Then it's Osby, Hayden Halstead with a beauty finish, LaFontaine, Arsenal, and Keast.
It was great as you were coming through that rhythm section up to the finish line. Everybody at this park was on their feet cheering. You must have felt fantastic.
Oh, it was crazy. I came around that first lap. I was out front, and I could hear it over my dirt bike. I couldn't even hear my bike. It was amazing. So every single lap, the crowd was going crazy, and I mean, they just kept me pushing that whole moto.
After the first moto, I wasn't happy at all. We went back and we regrouped, and we made huge bike changes, and it felt better for the second moto. I was going for the triple clown on the start. I was hanging off the back, and Ryan just inched me out just a little bit, and I got to work on my first lap. I'm getting shuffled back and just kind of getting jockeyed around, and other than that, I settled into a pace, felt good, made a couple passes, and got in third, and we just got to keep improving. That's what we're doing. It's been a while since I've been out here in the outdoor series, and I love it up here in Canada. All the fans are awesome, all the support's awesome, and just got to keep improving each weekend.
Nice job down in the impact, Travs. How about those trophies? To the Yamaha leaderboard, Thompson takes control. Then it's Pettis, Osby, and Hayes. Moffenbauer takes a good boot in the Kuyangs with that DNF. Then it's Surratt, Arsenal, LaFontaine, Wright, and Halstead.
What a day it's been here in Prince George. There's your top 3 in the MX2 class. Hayes, Pettis, and Thompson. Hey, don't forget to like us on the CMRC MX Facebook page and go to MX Nationals for all the goodies. You have been watching the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. Presented by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports, parts, and accessories. For Brian Coster, I'm Mark Travers. We'll see you next week in Cowtown for round 3. Look out, here comes the home seat.